They ate that up. They ate that up. They ate that up. They ate that up because I was nervous. I was concerned. They ate that up. Thank you for the super chat, Rashada. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, I gotta change my battery. Oh no, cha-ching. Thank you for the super chat, Rashada. My God, today. My God, today, child. My God, today. Well, it seems like we're back. It seems like the show got a little bit off track and the producer said, let me tell you something. I know how to do my job, America. Thank you very much because they flipped this around. Shout out to the producers because I was even saying, like, after the last episode, the episode on Friday, I was just like, I don't know how they're going to turn this around. This season has just been, it has tanked. And I'm just like, I don't know how they're going to turn this around. I remember I used to be watching TikTok videos of like NikkiNicoleStar edits, people having watch parties. I have not seen that for the past week. So I was just like, how are you guys going to get this audience back? Because it has been so somber and depressing and well. I keep on forgetting that they're 2 days ahead of us. So they have to like fix this stuff. So it looks like they're not doing anything, but really they have done stuff. We just haven't seen it yet. So they ate this up, y'all. They ate this up. We were screaming and cheesing. Watching this, like it felt like an old school Love Island. We were back. They ate that up. They ate that up. Let me tell you something about NikkiNicoleStar. I jumped on board at the last minute. I'll give y'all that because I thought that y'all were completely delusional. I said, what are they talking about? What are they seeing? These people are not getting together. What is happening? And then I started to see it. And I said, nah, I'm not seeing that. That's NikkiNicoleStar making me believe that something is happening. And then they had that kiss. I have never seen them two kiss anybody else in that villa the way they kissed, and I was convinced. Then when it didn't happen because Sierra put the clam on Nick thrice, I was like, I don't see Alondria making a move, and I don't see Nick moving from that without them both looking like villains. I just did not see that working, and I just don't think that that's how they operate. But here we are. Let me tell you something. I am now adding NikkiNicoleStar Hive to my affirmations of faith. Now faith, mustard seed faith, NikkiNicoleStar Hive faith, because y'all are delusional. Y'all are delusional, but baby, that delusion, it gives you results. Y'all held on. People doubted you, and y'all said it's okay because I know what's on the other side. My God, today, I was like, NikkiNicoleStar Hive did it. Y'all absolutely did it. This is amazing. This is amazing. Everybody said y'all was crazy. Y'all didn't buck back. Y'all didn't fight. Y'all just said, hold on. Hold on. Rain is coming. My God, today. Y'all built that ark. Oh, y'all gathered every animal and put them on the ark. Y'all told everybody rain is coming and they didn't believe you. They said you were crazy. They said it's never rained. But NikkiNicoleStar said, I know what's on the other side. My God, today. Y'all said rain is coming. And no matter how crazy you looked, wow. Like I said, now faith, mustard seed faith, NikkiNicoleStar Hive faith, because y'all never swayed. Y'all never swayed. No matter every episode, y'all said, I see it. It's happening. I got a little crumb today. You see him looking at her across the villa? No, but y'all didn't waver. Wow. Oh, wow. I got to give it to y'all too. I got to give it to NikkiNicoleStar Nation. Y'all did that. Y'all did that. My God, today, let's get into this review, child. This was just what this show needed, because I think now that we have this episode, I feel like the show is back on track, and I feel like the people who just came here to torment and cause chaos are no longer going to want to be bothered with the show. So I think this is not only getting the show back on track, the Islanders back on track, production back on track, but the fan base is back on track. I don't see those tormentors and dementors. I don't see them coming back over here because they don't have anything to eat off of anymore. Like, everybody is back on track. There's nothing for them to make chaos with. They don't have any bones. So I feel like we're right back where we need to be. And I'm happy about it, because as somebody who has been watching Love Island since USA season 5 and UK season 5. So as somebody who has been on this journey, I've never seen the fan base like this. It was really disheartening for at least the last 2 weeks, but we're back on track. We got our focus again. We got NikkiNicoleStar, and I am excited that we are officially back. So we start off with Sierra has left the villa. Shout out to the Asian community. Y'all ate that up. They said absolutely not on my watch. got rid of that girl. And I knew it was going to happen because every Love Island post, either on Instagram or on TikTok or on, I don't know about Twitter, but Threads, y'all were up under their Love Island and being like, why is she still there? Why has nobody addressed this? And I love that. I want you to be like that for everything, just not a TV show, but I'm going to give you your tens. I'm going to give you your tens. I will say this, I got to be honest, as somebody who is observing everything, it's really unfortunate for Ciara because out of everybody who has had trip ups this season, the only one who will suffer and not recover from this, who does not have a possibility of recovering, is Ciara Ortega. My God, today. Out of all of them, out of Ciara, Yelissa, and Austin disturbed me the most because I don't know if you guys seen his reposts, but his reposts were so scary where I felt afraid for his mind. I'm telling you, it was giving manifesto. That stuff was dark. He has since apologized. I don't think he's going to change because if you look at his TikTok and his social medias, it's growing. Everybody is under his comments praising him. And listen, shout out to the white community because what they all came together and said, not this one. Y'all not touching him. Y'all not taking opportunities from him. They are bigging him up, giving him his followers, giving him followers, supporting that man all the way to the top. And I will always give it up for that community because they support their people's rights or wrongs. And if they have a beef or an issue, they'll never let you know, period. That's how it should be. That's the only thing that we need to follow them with. Anyway, he is going to soar. He got to stay in the villa and be eliminated with everybody knowing what he had out there on his public profile. Yelissa was eliminated. And again, I think had they known about this before she even got to the villa, she wouldn't have been on the show. But I think we saw her in like one episode because, again, this show was filmed ahead. They're 2 or 3 days ahead of us. So I knew it was going to take some time to get her out, but they worked quickly. And the same thing with Ciara. When it was brought to their attention, they had to work quickly, but we saw her in at least 3 episodes because they're 3 or 4 days ahead of 2 or 3 days, I believe, ahead of us. So I knew that it was going to take some time, but they work quick. But it is so unfortunate because she is the only one who is going to be, her and Yelissa are going to be the only two who are going to feel it. Austin will feel nothing. And the Black American community continues to tell everybody else, every marginalized community, every time, you will never be picked. It will never work for you. You are not of that tribe. You will never get the benefits, no matter how much you bend and break and align with their views and values. You're not one of them. She will not recover from this because there are people who are canceling her, who are not Asian, who are only canceling her because she is Mexican. I think she's Mexican. Let me know in the chat, guys. She's Mexican. I believe she's something else, but she's clearly not white. Clearly colored. She is not one of them. And that girl, I don't think she will ever be able to recover from this. I don't think she's ever going to get the spotlight that she went on that show hoping for. My God, today. The best thing that for her to do is to apologize. As soon as I get my phone back, I will put up a post. I would not, if I was her, I would not return to any of my social medias until the fall. Until the fall, I will come back with a video talking about how I went to rehab. Always go to rehab. Always go to rehab. Did some healing in Mayan ruins, really did some soul searching, took some diversity sensitivity classes, volunteered at an orphanage in China. I hope her people are watching this. I'm giving you the plan. Um, really show yourself repenting, changing your behavior, and maybe, just maybe, you can recover a crumb of what you had. But because you are not of the tribe, because you are not of the community that can be excused of anything, you may not recover. My God, today. But again, shout out to the Asian community. They didn't like what happened. They didn't like the response. And here's the thing. I was one of the people who was just like, maybe she didn't know. Again, not my business. Y'all respond how y'all want to. But I was like, maybe she just didn't know what that meant. Because I was, I was the same way. I had found out some things on here that I shouldn't be saying from y'all. Y'all said, oh, Nikki, no, that's not, you know what I mean? So maybe I'm like, maybe this girl didn't know. Then the girl who discovered the video, and I'm saying all alleged, the girl who allegedly discovered the video showed her response to Sierra, to her story, and telling Sierra that that was a slur. And the response from Sierra was, yeah, it's a shame because I didn't use it like that. So it was, so the response made it, for Sierra, I'm going to say the response made it appear that you knew that it was a slur, but you were okay with using the slur because you didn't use it as a slur. That's not your place. If that is true, that's not your place. And to respond to an Asian person very smug, like you would not receive any repercussions. Yikes. Yikes. I hope that she learns from this. This is it's going to be a tough hill for her to climb, because she will have some issues with the Asian community. But I think there are other communities who have jumped in on the pylon just because she's a woman of color. Right? I don't think they care. Right? I think, I don't think they care about Asian people. I don't think they care about the Asian community. I just think they're just jumping on the bandwagon, and because that's what we're living in right now, right? Those were, I think, the same people who are going to pile on her are the same people who were a part of the Hoodacrits, Huda's army, who are not really her army because they are not going to support her after this show. Those same people who are riding for her, who are riding for Huda right now because they are trying to pit her against two dark-skinned Black women, they are going to be the same people that are going to be harassing her for being Palestinian, right? It's like it's the same demon, different fonts, and I think those are going to be the same people that are going to try to make Sierra's life a living hell. Because I honestly think that if she apologizes, I think the Asian community would be like, okay, that's what we needed. We needed an acknowledgement and an apology. We're good. I think that community will do that. I think the people who are joining the bandwagon on harassing her are going to stay around to see if she breaks. Because that's the world that we are living in today. But my God, today, when you put everything on the internet, you have to be very careful of your digital footprint. I have to think about that all the time, especially when I'm on here and I get a little bit too comfortable. I got to watch it, right? That's why I'm always like, if I'm saying everything I'm saying, if I'm talking about like any kind of hot topic or different communities, I always say some. Or my thing is, I always say not all, but enough that it's a problem. Because you got to always think about that digital footprint, child. You got to always think about that digital footprint. And for Sierra, she's trying to be an influencer. So, girl, maybe at least for a year, sign up with a deco, do some temp work, fade away, come back looking a little different. I hate to say it, pregnancy. Maybe come back when you're a new mom. I don't know. But it's It's a little hot for you right now, mama. It's a little hot for you. Um, so we get Sierra has left the villa, and then we get Nick sitting by the pool, acting like he's sad. Did you see the light return to his eyes? So the voiceover guys like Sierra has left the building, and that leaves Nick single and maybe vulnerable. So Nick is sitting by the pool, acting like um, he's sad. But let me tell you something. Production sees everything. The narrator sees everything. We see something, but Ace sees it all. Ace sees it all. So because Nick is now single, he pulls Alondria for a chat. And so Nick and Ace and Shelly are sitting over there watching Nick and Alondria. And here's the thing. They cannot get through a conversation about Nick and Alondria without like smiling. These two are like cheesing and beaming. They want to chuckle. And I think these two are reacting this way because I think they both have had conversations separately, Ace with Nick and Alondria with Shelly, about each other. And so these two are so like giddy that their friends who have always liked each other are finally going to pursue something. Because even Ace is sitting there with Shelly, he's just like, well, I see something happening, and I think that that's the way that he should go. Like, and Shelly's like, what are you talking about? He's just like, those two. I see them two happen, and Shelly's just like, oh, I don't know. Like, if that's what she wants, like they know. They have been talking. See, we didn't see this, but they have been talking to their friends about each other. We've all been there. We've all been there when our friend finally talks to their crush or somebody that they have been liking for a long time, but other partners and just distance or whatever has gotten in the way. And then we see them finally come together for real. You're so giddy. You're so excited. And that is what Shelly and Ace look like watching those two across the villa. Like, for them, they were just like, it looked like they were just like, finally, we've been wanting this. We've been keeping quiet. Because they said it's not there, but we've all seen it. We don't want to say anything, but now it's finally happened. Ace was so excited. And I'm telling you this, if you go back and you watch, the show has known that Ace sees everything. Let me bring up Mr. Ace, who they know that he sees everything. So anytime a storyline is brewing, you always get either Ace's commentary or his reaction. And like the last 3 episodes, the show has focused, if not verbally, physically, on Ace watching Nick observe Alondria. So I'm not saying that they planned this. I'm saying they were breadcrumbing the hell out of Nick Alondria Hive. They were breadcrumbing the hell out of the Hive by way of Ace, because Ace watches the way Nick watches Alondria. And there are probably so many conversations that we have not seen that Nick has had with Ace about her. I don't know if we're going to see them in movie night, but I'm like, they got to give us something if we even have movie night. But Ace and Shelly were having that conversation, and they were so excited that this was happening. And I was like, Sierra just left. Can y'all at least act like y'all not excited about this? But they were so happy. Let me tell you something, Nick Alondria Hive. The battle is nigh. It's the Lord's. Y'all pulled this through. I am gagged at this Hive. Y'all pulled this through. The world said it was over. Y'all said, nope, we still in the game. I will say, watching Nick and Alondria, I love them together. Nick's eyes, they light up when he talks to her. And he's like a little kid. Like, he's like a little kid, like meeting his like a superhero that he's loved. as a child, and he just gets like so excited when he's talking to her. If you watch him, his feet are kicking. He's like, his face is red because he's blushing. And I love that, because I'm like, that's how you need to be. That's how you need to be. He's blushing when he sees her, and they are so comfortable together because they were friends first, which I think was healthy. They were friends first, and he's talking to her about Taylor and Clark and how does she feel. She said, you know what? Alandria's like, you know what? Now that he said everything and everything has been said and done and that chapter is closed, I'm fine. And then Nick was like, how do you feel about them being in the end? And she's like, I loved it. And they had a little chuckle about it, and it just seemed very, very easy. And I hate to say this, he's just not like this with Sierra. He's just not like this with her. He is very, very, very happy with Alandria. And Alandria, now that Sierra is no longer there, and now that the chapter is closed with Taylor, she seems more receptive now of Nick. But I also think this had to happen. And why I think this had to happen is because Nick had to grow up. He even said, you bring out the man in me. Because Alandria needs a man. She does not need a boy. Nick had to grow up and get to a place where he could be a good partner for Alandria. And you can tell, like, when he talks to her, that he's still like not sure if he's adding up to what she needs. Because when he first started, he didn't look the way he looked, he didn't act the way he acted, and now he's just really maturing. Because, like, I think there's one part where he talks about, I think in the Stand on Business, when they were saying like Nick pees on the toilet seat or whatever, he was like, the old Nick did that, not the new Nick. Like, he had to grow up to get to the man. He had to grow from the boy to the man that he is now, to be in a position to even approach Alandria seriously. And again, shout out to them damn producers, because what a storyline. What a storyline. Y'all ate that. Y'all ate that up. Oh, hold on. I want to acknowledge it before I forget. Opulent Pomegranate. Thank you so much for the super chat. For the Cash App. Opulent Pomegranate said today for the Sir Davis review. What is my mom in this chat saying? What is my mom in this chat? Oh, wait. Did you hear it? Oh, it's finally working again. Thank you so much for the Cash App, Opulent Pomegranate. But I really like the conversation that Nick and Alandria had. It was just easy. They were both in a better place. Sierra, his strongest connection is gone. Taylor, Alandria's strongest connection is no longer, he's gone. Okay, so now these two are free to really operate and move in a way that they need to move to make this coupling successful. But they both had to be ready, and they were not ready when we wanted it to happen. But now they're ready, and now it can happen organically. But I really like their energy, and I like them together. It feels normal. It feels real. Friends to lovers. I'm here for it. And I think the show needed this. They really, really needed this. They needed to regroup. They needed to get their heads back in the game, because they were losing their show to demonic teenagers and tender odd-side chicks. I was like, what is happening to my show? It is never like this, but they pulled it out. They got it together. Speaking of the Huda and Chris's conversation, we talked about it last episode, but I want to go into more depth. It is the way they speak to each other is so high school. You would not think that this was people in their mid-20s, or is Chris mid to late 20s? But mid-20s, right? You would not think that the conversation that they are having are people who are halfway to 30. It's so high school. It's so immature. It lacks substance. It's like they're not really talking about anything. Huda is just accepting whatever Chris is saying because he's telling her what she wants to hear, but it's not much. And Chris is just getting pulled along in this show by someone because he knew it could not work out with Shelly because of where Shelly was with Ace. And Huda can't see that. She's just desperate to have some kind of affection from any man, especially a black man, who I think that's what she normally goes for, because a lot of non-black women normally go for a lot of non-black women who like struggle with like identity issues and confidence issues normally go for black men, not realizing that they're getting black men with low racial self-esteem, because those men are easier to get. Like, they're very easy, because with them having low racial self-esteem, they're looking for a non-black woman to value them so that they could feel so that they can feel of some importance or feel that much closer to what it's like being a white guy. So these two are not really hearing each other because there's no substance there in this relationship, which is why it resonates so much with children and hopeful side chicks who will listen to and believe the lies of the man that is never going to leave his family, but they get some kind of joy watching Huda because they can relate to her relationships and lack of substance, right? They're okay with getting nothing and fighting for it. And that's why when they see Huda and Chris, they see themselves and they feel like, although we're all like, this is nothing to celebrate, but for them, they finally feel like they can see themselves on a popular platform. So that is what we're dealing with, and that is what we're fighting. And it's sad because this young lady, this mother, does not see that this man is already letting her know what the situation is going to be when they leave, right? I had a dream. I had a dream about basketball and it made me very sad. He had a dream about his career ending because although he said he could be playing basketball, he's here on Love Island trying to be an influencer, right? So that lets me know that the basketball career is already gone. So that dream he had, he's letting her know this is foreshadowing, because when we get out of here, I'm going to be unemployed and homeless. Can you rock with me? Can you hold me down? Non-black women, they love saying that. Listen, can you hold me down? Because he's going to be unemployed and homeless, right? And she's going to be somebody who's going to be very popular by this rabid crowd, and he is going to ride that wave as long as he can until he can find himself in a much better place, because he is trying to create a platform for himself by way of the show and by way of Huda. But she cannot hear him, right? She does not realize she is going to be in a relationship where she's going to be a mother now to two people. And she does not get that, and she can not hear that. And I don't know if she has black girlfriends, but if she does, they're going to let her know the tea, right? Because with black men, not all, but enough that it's a problem with black men who date outside of their race, outside of their culture. They normally like to do that with women like Huda because they know that these women they don't know them. They don't know their culture, and they can get away with things with these women that they cannot get away with the women in their culture. Because every black woman saw that conversation and clocked everything. Every black woman was just like, oh, he's moving in with you. Like, he's letting you know, I don't have a home, and that I had a dream was about him retiring, having to retire from basketball because it's essentially over for him. But you're not hearing it. You're hearing, oh, I'm attracted to emotionally unstable women. I'll hold you down. I don't care that you're a mom. I love that. I'll be there for you. I'll rock out for you. I don't care about basketball. I'm just here. I don't care about the show. I could be playing basketball. It's not clicking to her that if he could be playing basketball, why isn't he? Why isn't he? But she is only seeing the fantasy, right? Now not only does she have a black man, she got the ball playing black guy, and she is seeing this fantasy that is not going to manifest with this man. I'm telling you, if her and Chris leave the villa, her social media gonna be real messy, because one thing Huda likes to do is talk about her failed relationships. And she's gonna let the chopper sing on that boy. And Chris is not the one to mess with. He's sassy. So he is going to match her energy and give it right back to her. Oh, it's going to be a messy fallout. It is going to be a messy fallout. But again, I can see why the Hoodacrits like her so much, because they identify, I'm not saying with her, they identify with this storyline that she has in this villa. And again, I'm not saying that this is Huda, because we do not know her, but what we have seen in this villa is an emotionally and mentally unstable woman, abuse, harass, manipulate, weaponize, tears, just, take the energy and joy out of everybody in that villa, and then play victim to somebody who does not know the situation. And these girls call themselves crash outs. The kids whose brains aren't fully developed thinks that the interpretation that she's having that as an adult, that's a mother, makes sense. Like, they rationalize this because they see themselves in this person. Now, teens, kids who are just don't know what the hell is going on, okay, I'll give it to them. But the adult women who are identifying with her, very scary. Very, very scary, but not surprising. And again, just the character that she has portrayed on this show. We don't know what this woman is like in the real world. That's why parasocial relationships are really scary and extremely tricky. She's gonna get out that villa, and y'all gonna think that she is your best friend. And I feel like Huda is gonna let y'all know real quickly who she's friends with and who she ain't rocking with. And a lot of y'all gonna get y'all feelings hurt. But the low vibrational and low informational community need a mascot, and they have it. Taylor, here's the thing. I hated how he treated Alandria, but it's obviously that he really likes Clark. Ace had to force him to make dates for Alandria. Ace had to force him to treat Alandria humanely. Every time he was running, every time his mask was slipping, he ran to Ace or Nick and was asking, how can he make her feel appreciated, because he couldn't give it to her because for whatever reason, he did not like her. And maybe colorism, it could be that. It could be colorism. It could be featurism. It could be those things, but I honestly just think it is an age gap issue, and not necessarily their numbers, but their brains, their mentality. Alandria is just so mature. Her and Taylor have absolutely nothing in common. He is very, very immature. And I don't even think that he is Clark's type. I think that Clark is tolerating him to stay in the villa. Listen, if you got to do what you got to do, mama, do what you got to do. So I am happy that these two are no longer together. Still not a fan, because he could have been an adult and told her how he felt and not use this woman to stay in the villa. But I will say, I like him making an effort for somebody he's really interested in. And it's just very obvious that he was not interested in Sierra, because in Alandria, because all the stuff that he was doing for this date and getting Ace to do this and really excited to do the date for Clark, never did it for Alandria because he never liked her. And that is why it's going to be hard for a lot of people to redeem him, because we just literally seen a man drag a woman along for an opportunity. And when he got on his feet, treated her like the starter wife. When he got on his feet and what he really wanted, walked into the villa, not only did he discard her, he humiliated her and treated her like garbage and acted like he was the victim. Not his best look. Not his best look. But we can see how that he knows how to treat a woman because of how he is treating Clark. He just has to like that woman to get, proper treatment, which is understandable. But my God, today. Amaya, I love the journey that we're seeing with her. My only thing with Amaya, I want her to allow herself to be pursued. I feel like she is on Brian heavy. And I'm like, you're the star here. You should let him pursue you. Like, it's getting to the point where she is always making the first move with Brian. And I'm like, I don't want her to make him comfortable with not doing anything and her taking him straight to the top. Like, you let this man work for your affection. I'm so glad that he stood up for you. I'm so glad that he showed interest in you. He needs to do more. He needs to do more. I like her. That's my girl. But I need her to just sit back and allow the men to come to her. You are worthy of that. Okay, so now we are able to see a more intimate and personal side of Shelly and Ace. And I don't know if this is production trying to give them a sympathy edit. I don't know. Because I just feel like Shelly and Ace have been talking this entire time. And the one time that we hear their intimate conversations is about how they both struggle in poverty. We're talking about homelessness and evictions when it comes to Shelly and Ace. Yeah. I think we can make a sympathy edit for Black people without the struggle being a part of their story. Even though it is, I just felt like these two have had the most conversations of any couple in the villa, and this is the conversations that we get. We can do better. We can do better. Now that Zach is single, he's been applying the pressure. He's been applying pressure to Alandria, and I see these two being attracted to each other. Like, I can see these two actually dating in the real world, but I just think there's been too much happening for these two to make sense. So I knew early on that he was going when Ace and Shelly were having that conversation about Nick and Alandria. I knew that he wasn't going to stay on the villa for much longer. Speaking of our girl Alandria, I will say I enjoyed watching her. I've been enjoying watching her since her divorce from Taylor. She's always been a breath of fresh air, but it's just exciting to see the ditziness leave, like the blind love for Taylor being gone, and we're seeing more of her personality. She's just a lot of fun. Like, she was a good Kiki in her confessional talking about Zach. She was like, he's cute, right? Like, I'm feeling him. Like, she's just fun now. She's so much more fun now that she's not pining after this man that just treated her horribly. It's good just to see her free, having fun, enjoying this process now, enjoying being pursued. I love seeing her happy. We're finally seeing her happy, and I'm enjoying it. I really, really, really am. We have a week left, a couple more episodes left for this show, and the girls finally get to choose. The girls picked in the beginning. The first episode the girls picked, and now episode 30 is when they get to pick again. What? What is happening? I hate living in red pill America. I absolutely hate it. And I will never, ever forget the people that voted us into this nonsense. Because what do you mean? It's a show called Love Island, and the men have had the upper hand the entire time, and the women have been able to pick twice. Out of what, a bazillion episodes? OMG. So because the ladies are picking, of course, all of the guys are going after the girls who are single. Elon is applying pressure to Amaya. Amaya and Zach, they had their conversation. They both know nothing is coming out of that. But I do like that Amaya was feeling herself that she was being pursued. But I hate the fact that again Amaya is being pursued because it's time for her to save a guy, not because a guy really is interested in her. I won't say that about Brian. I won't say that he's not interested in her. I will just say for now, from what I'm seeing, is I don't think Amaya allows him to pursue her. That's what I'm seeing. I could be wrong. Who knows? We're only getting a glimpse into these people's days. So I could be misinterpreting that. But from this episode and the last two episodes, that is what I am getting. Let's talk about another crumb that we got. So right before the recoupling where the girls have to choose, Nick pulls Alandria for another chat. I ain't never seen him talk to Sierra this much. He was pulling Alandria all day, just pulling her. And the way he treats this woman, every time he pulls her, he like lifts her up. I just love it. So he pulls her for a chat, and they basically just say that they're both ready to explore, right? He said, I've always been attracted to you, but I was in a coupling, and then you were with my boy Taylor. So it was always, it was always very difficult. And she was like saying the same thing. She was just like, Sierra's my girl, Taylor. Of course, we were trying to work that connection, but like now that is no longer an obstacle, I'm ready to do it. And I was very shocked that Alandria was so open so quickly, which lets me know they both have been pining for each other, but we just didn't get to see it. And I think it was filmed, but I think we didn't get to see it because of this slow burn and slow build. Now, I think the producers got a break with Sierra just being messy on her social media so they could get her out the way and don't have to force Nicolandria. But now it's like, now that Sierra is no longer there, she, eliminated herself at this point. Now that obstacle is gone. So now they can write the love story that they were writing from the beginning, which is why I think they saved her so many times, and him, because this was the love story they were writing for this season. With their connections no longer existing, these two are ready to really, really explore. I think before the recoupling, Nick pulled Alandria because he just needed that reassurance. He just needed that reassurance that not that she would just pick him, but that she would be open to exploring him, because he's been open. Even when he had Sierra, he was open to exploring her, but she was not. So he just needed to know, like, if this is happening, I don't want to be in a friendship coupling. I'm attracted to you. So what are we doing? And Alandria's just like, I'm ready. And then Nick was like, I'm delusional, like the Hive. My God, today. And then Nick was like, well, Alandria has a nice ring to it. And I was like, oh, they're reading our thoughts. I was like, close enough. I'll take this crumb. Close enough. It's Nick Alandria, but we'll talk about that when you leave the villa. We'll talk about that when you leave the villa. That conversation was so cute. We're cheesing again. We're happy again. We finally got some couplings that we want to cheer for. This is the Love Island that I know. This is the Love Island that I know. And again, I'm just cheesing, just watching these two. I'm cheesing watching Ace and Shelly, watch them. I just love it. Now let's get to the recoupling. So, of course, Ace and Shelly couple up. I will say I love the speech that Shelly gave to Ace. I thought it was really, really cute. I like these two. I really, really do like these two. They've taken us on a journey. We've liked them. We haven't liked them. They've both gotten on our nerves. We've disagreed with each other. We were just like, hey, she's going after you. What are you doing? Shelly is going after you. What are you doing? Like we were just back and forth with these two. And listen, that's Love Island. They took us on a journey, but they always came home. And I really, really love this. So these two are coupled up, and I am yet once again holding space. I'm holding space. I'm holding space for Chiles. I'm holding space for Chiles. I'm back on. I'm back on it. I love them. I love these two. We are going to let it happen. Then the next coupling that we have is Miss Clark. She gives a really cute speech to Judas. So Clark and Judas are now coupled up. Then we have Miss Huda. She couples up with homeless Tyler Perry. She gave him a cute little speech too, just describing her journey like she wasn't the problem. Child, but homeless Tyler Perry, he ate it up. So Huda and homeless Tyler Perry, they are a couple. Then we have Miss Iris. She chooses Pepe. Who shocked there? I will say Iris was just like, this person really comforted me during my trauma. And I was like, girl, Pepe been on that. He just needed an opportunity. But it's cute. They go. And then we have Miss Alandria. I knew what was happening here. She gets up and she just talks about this person and her having a really good friendship and just how this person treats her and honors her. Woo! And she was just like, I would like to couple up with Nick. And he was so happy about being coupled up with her. I will say, I always have little watch parties here with my family. And when she said his name, everybody just started cheering and clapping like we were watching the Super Bowl. Like we were watching the Super Bowl. So I can officially say that in this household, NikkiNicoleStar is like the Eagles. These are our Eagles. We were cheering for NikkiNicoleStar. So we have our second coupling. Well, not our second coupling, but the second coupling that we care about. We finally got NikkiNicoleStar. Then I do want to say this. Did you see Taylor acting like he? Wait, where can I find Judas? There he is. Did you see him like dancing and acting like he was so happy about this coupling? I will say he knew that Nick liked Alandria and wanted Nick to take Alandria off of his hands. But I was just like, you just could have sat there. We didn't need you dancing and trying to make it about you, constantly stealing focus when the light is always on Alandria. Ugh. Clark, watch out, child. Watch out. So then Amaya goes. Where is she? Where's Amaya's pic? Oh, right here. So then Amaya goes and she picks Big Pun in his prime, also known as Brian. And I was like, yes, we finally got a Dominicana, Boricua, Morena, Dominicana. And I was happy about that because I just felt like, I don't know what's going to happen with them outside the villa, but I knew that Amaya needed a man of her culture. I knew that she needed it because I knew the way that she was. If you've never lived in New York, you will not understand in Amaya. And if you're not Latino, you would not understand in Amaya. But I knew that she needed a guy from her culture because of the way she was coming on to the men in the villa who were not Latino. They just didn't understand her. But Brian immediately understood her and had no problem with her. So I don't know if this is a real match outside the villa, but it's a match in this villa that I am absolutely okay with. I just want Amaya, to let him pursue her. So because of that, Zach is eliminated because he is not in a coupling along with Elon. He is also eliminated because he is not in a coupling. And I feel like they kind of knew because everybody was just like, this elimination, everybody was so chill. Not one tear was shed. They all took a picture and they sent them home. Like, I felt like everybody just kind of knew before the recoupling that these two were going home. So now that we have our new couples, the couples that I am officially rooting for is, of course, Shalace. I'm holding space. I'm holding space. I am absolutely rooting for and voting for Nicolandria. And my final couple that I am rooting for is Dominicana. I feel like these two are going to be the final three. Or do we get a final four? If we get a final four, it's going to be Huda and Chris. But I think the top three are going to be Nicolandria, Shalace, and Dominicana. I don't know who's going to come in second, but I think Nicolandria is going to be the winners of this season. Not because they have such a strong fan base, because what a love story. This is Love Island. What a freaking love story. Oh, I love it. So after the recoupling, Nick again pulled the laundry for a chat. And I just love how he treats her like she's royal. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. He treats her like she's royalty, like she's so precious. If he could, like, if she would allow it, he would not let her feet touch the ground. That is how it should be. So these two sit down and they're both just like, how do we keep on ending up here? Like, basically they're trying to say, like, fate is trying to force us together because this keeps on happening. So we just need to accept it and let's explore it. And Alandria is just like, now that Taylor is no longer a factor, I can, and Sierra is like out of the villa, I can comfortably pursue you because I could not do it before because of those two factors. Now that that's not in our way anymore, let's just do it. And in her confessional, she was just like, this keeps on happening. And if it keeps on happening, it's for a reason. And I just need to embrace it. And then she was just like, I wonder if it was him the whole time. And I was like, yes, it was him the whole time. They have to win. This is Love Island. This is Love Island. This is a great love story. When she was like, I wonder if it was him the whole time. Like, you can write this. You cannot write this. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I really thought it was cute because Nick was just like, because like when he's talking to Alandra, all he does is smile. All he does is smile. All he does is blush. And he was just like, I gotta admit, you make me nervous. And she was like, oh, Nick, really? That's how it should be. That's how it should be. He treated her like she's precious. He treats her like she's royalty. He carries her around. He kisses her hands. Like, he lets her know that not only is he interested, but she is precious to him, and he makes her nervous. That's how it should be, ladies. You should make that man nervous. You should make that man nervous. He's just like, I'm so nervous when I get around you. That's how it should be. That's how, make him tremble. That is how he is supposed to be enamored with you. And this boy is enamored with Alandria. And we finally got another yearner. We got another yearner in the villa. And I just love, again, how he just keeps on kissing her hand and the way he just carries her and just, with his hand, he just always is lifting her up. He's always lifting her up. That is how it's supposed to be. We finally got it. It is here. It is happening. Love Island is back on track. Those are all my thoughts for this episode. What do you guys have to say? I'm going to get to my super chats first. We got about 1,400 comments in the chat. Listen, I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can. I might be on here super long because it's a celebratory day. We will see. Please make sure you like the video. We got almost 700 people in the chat. Let's get this up to 700 likes. Let's start off with the first super chat from Nonsense Behavior. Nonsense Behavior said Nick's mom is going to act a fool for an in-person family day. Can you believe it? Because this week is we're getting family day this week. His mom is going to be so happy. His mom is going to be so happy. Obviously, me, you did it. You did it, obviously, me. Obviously, me said, Nicolandria Nation, we have risen. The Hive is carrying this season on our back, and it has paid off. This episode is for day oneers who have stuck through every high and low. We taking this money, Love Island Villa, and America by storm. You did it. I'm telling you, out of everybody, out of every subscriber I have had, let me tell you something. Obviously, me never wavered. Even when they sounded crazy, never wavered. Zora said, "Don't throw tomatoes." Ooh, but thank you for the super chat. Zora said, "Don't throw tomatoes, y'all." But Nick didn't seem as into it this time. He seemed off. Am I the only one? Ola in that dress swoons. No, you are not the only one who saw that he seemed off. I think Nick had to. First of all, I won't say that I think he's playing that he feels sad. I think he has to like navigate his feelings of what has just happened. One thing we do know for certain, he is into Landria more than he is into Sierra or this show, because if he really had that strong of a connection with Sierra, he would have left. He stayed on the show, right? I feel like if Nick left the villa, Sierra would have left with him. I don't think she would have stayed on the show. So it literally just happened. He is thinking like, I had a strong connection. They are now gone. I'm in the villa, single again, up for elimination. Like, should I leave? Like, I think he's just dealing with all of those emotions. I don't think he's not into Alandria. I think a lot just happened that he had to cope with and get over very quickly. That's what I think. Peyton, thank you so much for the super chat. Paige, thank you so much for the super chat. Paige said, I literally fast forwarded all the scenes tonight that were not Nicolandria. The joy, the bliss. We have our winners, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Once those two officially became a thing on the show, we knew where this was going. Thank you again for another super chat, Peyton. Peyton said Sierra's spot in bed was still warm. Nick said, he said, listen, Alandria, I'm still attracted to you. Solis, thank you so much for the super chat. Solis said, producer said the fans told us to run it back, so we ran it back. They knew that's the only way to save this show. Love you, Nikki and the Star fam. Thank you so much, Solis. Paige, thank you so much for the super chat. Paige said, you're not lying, Nikki. This was a faith movement for real. Not to sound crazy, but this Nicolandria thing is a sermon where two or more together. Two or more gathered. Absolutely. Y'all made this happen. Hey, Susan, thank you for the super chat. Susan said, Nicolandria fan base, wow, you guys did it. They sure did. Candace, thank you for the super chat. Candace said, I could not wait to get to your review after the show. I already know you're about to do this justice. Nicolandria High, we up, baby. Yes, we are. Waddles, thank you so much for the super chat. Waddle said they showed a convo with Nick and Ola after the episode was basically over. If America hasn't decided on their winner, production sure has. I'm telling you guys, they wrote this love story for Nick and Alandria. They wrote this. I was just like, they keep on saving this girl. I have never seen a show fight this hard to save a Black woman. Never in my life. And it was because they were writing this story. They were right in this story, and they said it has to happen. They kept on trying to force it. The universe heard. Nicolandria was praying and fasting, turning down their plates, coming together, fighting wars. They did everything. And it paid off. My God, today. When production and the fan base link up, anything can happen. Obviously, me, thank you for a super chat. Obviously, me said, vote Nick and Ola in that poll. Nikki, oh, the whole family did. We're in on it. Kimberly, thank you so much for the super chat. Kimberly said, my face hurts from smiling about Nicolandria. Joined a bit late, just finished this episode. Oh, See, this is the thing. This is what Love Island is supposed to feel like. We're like cheesing, kicking up our feet. We're so excited because this was the real deal. The real deal. And this is Love Island. I'm excited for them. I am excited for them. Let me get into the comments. Oh, guys, look. We got a new flavor. We got a new flavor. Y'all know my new favorite flavor is orange squeeze. Well, not my new favorite. The only one I've ever liked. I have not liked anyone else. I like orange squeeze. And I went to the store today and I got some orange squeeze, but I also saw peaches and cream. I love peaches and cream. I love peaches and cream oatmeal, and I love peaches and cream ice cream. So, of course, I would love peaches and cream Olipop. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh. How much sugar is on this? 5 grams. Is that a lot? Is that, what is the ingredients? It's not bad, but it's real sweet and it's scaring me. Oh, Jerusalem artichoke. I know that's right. Oh, so this is anointed. Marshmallow root. Maybe that's what I'm tasting. Oh, Lord, this is sweet. Oh, Steve, maybe it's that stevia. Woo! It's not bad, but it tastes so sweet, like it's wrong. Ooh, okay. Orange squeeze is still my fave, but this ain't bad. This is not bad. Oh, wait, while I'm scrolling, let me check and see if y'all sent me some any other way. Moderators, please let me know if I'm missing a super chat or if somebody is has sent me something in another way. It sent me a Cash App or whatever. I'm gonna keep on checking my email. Just let me know. Just let me know. Okay, I think I'm gonna start. I think I want to start right here. Hannah said, exactly, where was this energy for Austin and Huda? I don't know what they're going to do about Huda. I do not know, because it's just like, well, Austin is white. He's a white man. He's not going to be touched. Welcome to America. Like, we all know that nothing is going to happen there. His community is protecting him, as they should. As they should. I wish other communities were like that. We wouldn't be in this situation if they were. Huda, now that the fan base got NikkiNicoleStar, they might turn on her and it might just happen. I don't know. But it's like she did that video with her singing the N-word. So I don't know. I do not know, but child, I thought they did background checks. This is because you know the person who was finding all this stuff, a teenager, some kid on TikTok is just scouring their social medias and finding problematic posts. It's a kid. We got to get the kids out of our TV shows. Hey, Austin. Austin said, go ahead. That's like the NikkiNicoleStar thing. It's like cheering for WWE. So it's okay, I guess. Austin, we are up. Yasmin said they need to give everybody a date because it's only been 2 this season. I think NikkiNicoleStar kind of had a date. They might have a real one. Simone said NikkiNicoleStar had the faith of a mustard seed. They sure did. They sure did. Sydney said this was the first episode I actually liked Ace in. You know what? I've liked him in previous episodes, but I feel like this is the first episode where we got to see all of Ace. I think we were just, so much of Ace and Shelly was just highly edited, and I feel so bad for them because now we're starting to humanize them, but I'm like, why did we wait so long? Because I'm pretty sure that Shelly and Ace had moments like this. I'm pretty sure they have moments like this. I don't think that Ace and Shelly just switched up and were kind to each other and had these deep conversations. I think they had the most out of everybody. And we just got this. Unfortunate, but listen, we got our winners. Hannah said the Asian community stood firm on their boycott of Sierra. They sure did. Shocked the hell out of me. I'm gonna tell you, I ain't never seen that before. They were under every post. It was not a game. I have a very black timeline. I kept on getting so many videos from Asian creators on that app being like, oh, she has to go. It was not, they formed together like the Avengers. And it was all Asians. It was East Asians, South Asians. They all came together and said, absolutely not. Mari said, seeing Sierra missing from the first look gave me pause. And then as soon as I saw the first fire pit seating, whoop, oh, y'all are messy. I will say this. I was like, when I heard Sierra has left the building, I was like, oh. And then immediately I was like, NikkiNicoleStar. I felt bad. Poor thing is probably bawling her eyes out, thinking about the brand deals that she is going to lose, looking at the loss, how many followers she has lost. And then she has to look at all those damn NikkiNicoleStar edits. Oh my gosh. B. Nichols says Sierra really thought she was loved too. I think for all of them, it is going to be very shocking because this is the thing. When America broke up Jeremiah and Huda thought that America did that for her. So when she was doing that crash out stuff, she thought that she was doing that because that's what America wanted her to do. And I think that's also her personality and how she handles things. But I really think that she was going all out because she really thought that America was on her side. America was on Jeremiah's side. I still think they are. But she really thought that. And to this very moment, she still thinks that because of how high she rated and the America Says challenge. So she's still thinking that she's America's sweetheart. So she's going to be very shocked when she gets out this villa and finds out everything. Because again, the fan base who was writing for her does not really like her. Excuse me. They are writing for her because they're writing for her against Shelly and Alandria. And now they can't touch Alandria because Alandria is now joined with a white man. And that is somebody they can't, that fan base can't touch. Okay? Because the white women who was linking up with the people of color women who were so happy, especially with a lot of Latina women. And also there were a Latina women who were writing for Shelly and Alandria. But this movement was by, yes, young people, but also women of color. Non-Black women of color and white women. Now they're going to lose they're going to lose the most influential portion of their movement, which is white women. Because white women, as we know, is not voting against the white man. They are not going to ride for anybody. They'll ride for you over a Black woman, but they're not riding for you over a white man. So they're going to go back. Now they're going to be Team NikkiNicoleStar. They're going to be like, oh, I wanted Huda to win, but I really love NikkiNicoleStar. So it's just going to be the woman of color who nobody was paying attention to in the first place because of how messy they move in the real world against the NikkiNicoleStar hive. They're dust. And so I think for a lot of them, getting out of that villa is going to be a wake-up call because Huda is going to walk out that villa thinking that she is, well, I mean, maybe after the final vote, she may know that she's not as precious as she thought she was, but I think it's going to be a huge wake-up call, and I don't think she's going to have the support that it looks as if she has now. Marvy said, seeing Sierra missing from the first look. Oh, I got that. Hannah said, exactly. Where was this energy for us? Oh, we got that one. D1 Jalen, hey, said, this episode, I smiled the entire time. when I see Sierra was gone. I love all the couples now. Same. Too bad it's only a week left, NikkiNicoleStar. Yeah, they breadcrumbed us and then they gave us what we wanted at the end. Me either, Josie. Gagged. Ashley said Sierra needs to go home and get the filler from her lips. It's too much. I don't think this is gonna happen. This generation loves getting work done very early. I don't know when they're gonna wake up. Sarah says Sierra already scrubbed Love Island off her Insta bio. She's gonna go ghost smart. Metamorphosis said, which is crazy because Austin should get flamed. That white boy is safe. Very scary. Very scary. Jennifer said Austin blamed it on having a dry sense of humor, and he will be forgiven. It's already happened. He'll be fine. Yasmin said, I know Sierra was sick when she got her phone. Had to be. And not giving her sympathy, just being completely honest here. I hope that they have some help for her. Because she doesn't know what's going on. They don't tell you why they removed you from the bill. They probably let her know now. But she's going to get that phone back and find out all of that stuff, find out how hated she is, find out about the NikkiNicoleStar edits, find out that she's lost all of those followers that she already had going in, find out that she's basically blacklisted from brands. Then she has to deal with the people who are not really writing for the Asian community, but just writing against the person of color, who are sending her all kinds of racist stuff and death threats. That's a lot to take in. So I hope they have somebody with her, or somebody that she can talk to. Takara said, I'll be back, chat. I have homework. No problem. Megan said, Lips got removed from that villa and Nick immediately got his spark back. Child, happy-go-lucky. Happy-go-lucky. Kate said, I'm weak. Love Island got every ethnic group community standing on business. It is not a game. It is not a game. Nori's note said, Yalista posted a TikTok basically saying she is not apologetic because it's used in music. Of course. This is the thing. She realizes she does not have to act like she cares anymore because she's not going to benefit from this show. So there's no opportunities coming her way. She's not going to be able to profit off of Love Island the way she wanted to. So now it's just like, why do I have to act like I care if I'm not getting anything out of it? She put that post up apologizing because she thought that it would save her image. It didn't. And because it didn't change anything for her, she was like, okay, so I don't have to act like I care. And now she can be who she really is. But there's a community of people out there who will support her, mainly Cubans, who feel and think the same way. And, people who are just racist, awful people, they will support her. It won't be to the extent of others, but she'll have something to make her feel important. Holly said, if you don't follow them, they don't exist. Easy peasy. True. I want to get another super chat. Rose T, thank you for the super chat. Rose said NikkiNicoleStar started from the kiss from one. The kiss in Alondria didn't even know it was Nick. We gotta have movie night. Who kissed her blindfolded? We have to have movie night. And do y'all remember? She said it was an amazing kiss. I think we're going to get movie night so that she can see that moment. I think we're going to get movie night. Alexa said, and Sierra's real job as a content creator for some company. She might not even have that now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think she's done for a minute. She just needs to lay low. Come back at Christmas. Yeah, starting up the new year healed and set free. Something like that. Do a live with all the popular Love Island girls. There'll be over 1 million at that point, and you will be restored. Zora said, I heard the nail in the coffin for Sierra was when screenshots came out where someone tried to inform Sierra. Yes, the word was problematic and she didn't seem to care. Hope she has a good support system. Yeah, because if that was real, it shows that she used a harmful and racist term and did not care about the intent, did not care that it was going to harm a community. And it is a community that watches the show. It is a viewer. And these are viewers, and they have to protect their viewership. So I think that's when I was just like, yeah, she's done for. Denise said that's the show. Sierra was with him the whole time, also exploring. The show is exploring. So I don't. That's why I was just like, it was very weird that they were getting mad at people for exploring the fan base and the cast. I'm like, that's the show though. My address said, Yelisa and Sierra are out. Keep that same energy for Huda. I don't know if it's going to happen because I don't think the Black community really cares that much. Like, if the Black community makes a big deal out of it, then maybe she will go. But I don't see anything really happening with that right now. Devonta said, Taylor and Clark were boring to me. Taylor can't do anything without Ace. Ace is his big brother, although he's what, 2 years or 3 years older than him? No, is he? He's 3 years older than Ace. And Ace is the big brother. Rachel said they phased Sierra out in the last few episodes. Yeah, they had to because, again, the show was filmed in advance. So Sierra probably has been gone since what? Thursday. And Melina said Austin should have been sent home as well. Those reposts were awful. Yeah, but again, he's white. He's not going to be touched. Her Royal Freshness said, am I glad that opportunity... and I'm glad that opportunity seeking Zach is gone too. Same. Crystal said, I'm still confused with the Austin thing. Why was he never eliminated? Was the outrage just not loud enough? There was even an article about the issue with Yelisa and Austin. I think it's just because it was his reposts, and they were all, although hateful and harmful, political. So they can't say they're getting rid of somebody because of their political views, because then it'll get very, very tricky. The end of the H said also, whoever was running Sierra's socials was not doing her any favors either. Well, her friends, her social media friends, the influencer group that she was a part of, they've distanced themselves from her. Now that they can no longer profit off of her, she's done. They're distancing themselves from her, saying that they don't stand or agree with anything that she has done. And I'm like, with friends like these, who needs enemies? Brittany said the season with the most Latin representation, and they all got kicked off for racism. And that is something the Latino community is going to have to reckon with, because you can be as racist as you want and anti-Black as you want, you still will not be picked. So that anti-Blackness that works back in your motherland is not going to work here. You better clock in and get in line with marginalized communities. Devonta said Nick and Alandria had their romantic setting on the little dock, I believe, on the little dock. I believe in them. He brings out the best in her, and same with him. Yes. He said, you make me a man, make me manlier. And that is how it's supposed to be. Look how he looks at her. Look at how he treats her. Look at how he speaks about her. That, ladies, is how it's supposed to be, except nothing less. Listen, it's happened. Let her go to racial rehab. Mr. Red says Sierra's company is also in a weird lawsuit with that content Oh, child, it's a mess for her. I would take a break, regroup, come back Christian or pregnant. LSS said she better get some cultural sensitivity classes. She got to do it all. She has to do it all. I don't know. Are we going to have eliminated people at the reunion? Are they going to talk about the eliminated people? I do not know. I try to help. I'm trying to help. Alexis said, was Sierra in your list to be invited? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Hey, Shane. Shane says Sierra already had brand deals like Good American. I wonder if she gets dropped from that as well. Well, Good American is the Kardashians. They've always been problematic, so I don't know. I do not know. And Melina said her social media handler distanced themselves from Sierra, and she lost over 300. Yep. Poor thing. Well, I don't want to say poor thing. Just, it sucks. Shane says Sierra already. Oh, we got that. Pepe, hey. So the problem with certain non-black POCs who adopt whiteness in that Valley Girl accent and persona, they think they're untouchable and forget that they don't have the complexion for the protection. They don't know this playbook because this is the thing. A lot of marginalized communities do not realize that they are living under the covering of Black Americans. They don't realize they're allowed to come to America first, live in America, work in America, get paid in America, go anywhere they want in America because of Black Americans. And I just think that is lack of education about America. Like you come here and you think that all the opportunities that are given to you are because white America voted for it to be so, and it wasn't. It's because of Black Americans whose blood was shed, who fought for those things, who when they fought and they went to the table, my people, with everybody in mind. It was never just for us. And I think a lot of marginalized communities either don't know that or forgot that or do not care, which is why I think a lot of them are having issues with Black Americans being like, we're absolutely done with helping because we helped you and then you voted to disenfranchise us, not knowing that the harm that was going to come to us was going to get to you first because we've already been first. So now we're in just a really weird time. And I feel like if we're going to move forward as a community, those marginalized communities have to not only educate themselves about Black American and what Black Americans have done, but they also have to have a conversation with their communities and then come to the Black American communities repentant and ready to work. But that's a lot of work to do. And that is a big demon to wrestle. And I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime. Yeah. Chrissy said the way the villa seemed more chill after Sierra left, because the show was finally back on track. Oh, she's cheering while packing her bags because she's getting ready to meet her daughter-in-law. She's excited because this is the thing that's so crazy. Nick has not talked to his mom. And the one thing that his mom kept on saying about Alandria is that she brings out the man in her son. Only for Nick to say Sierra that Alandria brings out the man in him. I know she was watching this episode giddy, just so excited to meet her daughter-in-law. Denise said Huda will never sniff that 100K, but her future is still bright. Yeah, she'll be fine until she messes up with that fan base. That's what I'm saying. Like, that fan base is a nasty fan base. She has to walk a tight rope with that fan base because one mistake and they will destroy her. One mistake and they will destroy her. GP313, thank you for being here and thank you for the super chat. GP313 said, hey y'all, I've got a text. Hit the like button. Thank you so much. Yes, guys, make sure you hit the like button. The likes help your girl grow in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much. Crystal, thank you for the super chat. Crystal said, Adriana even wrote in a comment that Huda slammed the drawers for 5 minutes, not 30 seconds. She hasn't changed. I wonder what else will come out. Happy voting, everyone. I think everybody's going to be very honest at that reunion because Huda's fan base is harassing everybody. And I think everybody is going to be extremely fed up because they protected Huda. And I think they're going to go to that reunion and be very honest about their experience with her. They better give Jeremiah the airtime that he deserves at that reunion because they should have protected him as much as they protected Huda. And I don't think they did. Mr. Rad said, I cannot imagine Sierra getting the announcement. Sorry. I think she thought they had it. She absolutely did. She absolutely did. That's why she stood behind Taylor and not Iris and TJ, her besties. She stood behind Taylor because Iris and TJ were her competition. Is Adecco not around? That was one of my first like adult jobs. Tipping at Adecco. That was like my first corporate America job. Oh, Mom Talk will absolutely take her in because they're all a mess. They're all recovering holes inside chicks. They will absolutely take her in. Devonta said, I voted Nick and Melandria a favorite couple in the app because a couple is leaving Tuesday. If a couple is leaving Tuesday, it's probably going to be Iris and Pepe or Huda and Chris. Zora said, that scene with all the guys was hilarious. The acting was horrible. Acting like they were sad. Please. Bridget said, nobody should be harassing these people. Absolutely. It's just a TV show. But we're in a very toxic time. We are in a very demonic timeline. It is upsetting. Megan said he was trying not to cheese during Ola's speech. He was so happy. He couldn't hide his joy. He was so happy. I think it's going to be Pepe and Iris. And I think the last four couples that we're going to have is Huda and homeless Tyler Perry, Shalace, NikkiNicoleStar, and Dominicana. Her Royal Freshness said, I did a toast with my friends on Zoom celebrating NikkiNicoleStar tonight. Yep. We're back. Holly said, Nick pulled out his binoculars and was looking for bombshells on the horizon. Child. Now he got the ultimate bombshell. Did y'all know that Alondria was supposed to be a bombshell on season 6? But she couldn't go because she was in Thailand. So they made her main cast for this season. Listen, they're all in the mix, child. Mel said, everybody was so happy for NikkiNicoleStar. Yep. Wavy said, that little wave they did across the way cracked me up. They're so cute. Megan said, them waving to each other took me out. They're cute. They're cute. I actually love this. Clark did. I think it's fun. Amario said, that was such a cute moment with Ace and Shelly. Smile and wave. I like them. Smithy said, I'm so excited for Nick and Alondria. They are a gorgeous couple, but Ace took me out with the smile and wave. Yeah. Because this is the thing. They have been talking about them. And now it's finally happened. So I guess they were like trying to act like for Sierra that they weren't happy about this, but they were giddy. They were giddy. Lemuela said, I'm so happy, NikkiNicoleStar. Yes, they all knew. Because remember, Ace was like, so, you know, they had a thing. They all knew, but because of Sierra, they could not talk about it. And they were, they were trying to act like they weren't happy this was happening. So Lise said, okay, because Ace didn't even get jealous for them, and he's jealous for all connections. Ace is jealous for connections that aren't his boys. Unique said, Ace was ecstatic. Ace, Shelly, and Taylor were so happy for NikkiNicoleStar and how cute they were. Ace and Shelly gossiping. Oh my God, I forgot about Clark and Judas. They might get eliminated. So it might be, so Iris and Pepe may survive because Clark and Taylor may get eliminated. Kay said, I'm not going to lie. Everybody was so much happier and more likable this episode. Absolutely. Carrie said, all the boys like what Nick said about Chris snapping his fingers took me out. Listen, I think everybody in that villa knew about those two, but those two. Everybody knew that they had a spark, but them. Denise said, that Shelly pretending not to know face. Yep. She had the same face when they saved Delandria in that vote. Yeah. She was like, what do you mean? Girl, she talked to you. She talked to you about it. Cece said, if it wasn't for Taylor, I bet Nick would have been. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kate said, I like how NikkiNicoleStar made me like Ace more. We're back. We're back in the right timeline. Hannah said, Inspector Gadget Ace made sure his best for forever Nick will be chosen by Alandria. Absolutely. Excuse me. Candace said, this morning there was a rumor that they had already started on the low. Nick had the pillow wall and he slept uncovered in that last episode. He was, ciao. This is the thing. I want movie night because Alandria is always so surprised when Nick is just like, I'm attracted to you. I've always been attracted to you. I think you're the most beautiful woman in the world. I really like you. You're such a queen girl. And she's always like, Nick, really? I want her to see it. I want her to see it, and I want her to see it with him talking to everybody about her. I want her to see it with him talking in his confessionals about her. I want her to see that for him, it's always been her. Ah! I can't believe this show got me like this. Crystal says, same. I will love NikkiNicoleStar, Amayan, Chili's. Honestly, no particular order because they will all be okay money-wise with their brand deals. Yes. Yes. Evelina said, I don't think movie night, the Twitter challenge is happening, unfortunately. Oh, maybe they'll show the NikkiNicoleStar edits. Titanium's at NikkiNicoleStar. That ain't nothing but God. Y'all are a mess. Oh, I am Bevan said 2018 Cavs down 3-1 to the Warriors. Comeback is brewing for us, NikkiNicoleStar. Mariah said Nick looks and feels freeing with being with her. He's happy. He doesn't feel stiff or had to watch his words about Alandria. He is down bad for her. He really, really is. He's always liked her. Reunited and it feels so. I cannot wait to see the NikkiNicoleStar edits now. I cannot wait because I'm telling you, when this show had me down, I just searched NikkiNicoleStar edits and I was like, okay, I feel better. Nah said Ace and Shelley got all my votes because I know NikkiNicoleStar high, producers included, got Ola. True. Crystal said for the fourth, I'm torn between Taylor, Clark, and Iris and Pepe. I hate what Taylor did, but they are actually a cute couple together. I will agree. I will agree with that. Never. It was never like this with her. Never. Yeah. He said, I'm so nervous around you. Yes. Yes. Jude said, Alandria said, I loved him since the moment I met him. These edits are about to be fire. Fire. Oh, listen, they're ready. They're ready. Alandria, get ready. You about to be over their house for Thanksgiving. Get ready. Eat before you go, child. Eat before you go. Yep. She makes him a man. Kay said he's like a little kid with Alandria, but still be on his grown man. He conducts himself in a way. That's what I'm saying. We never see Nick like this with anybody else but Alandria. She makes him a grown-up, an adult. He's such a different guy with her. Oh, he brings out the best, and she brings out the best in him. Big Nick, not little Nick. He's Big Nick with her. Destiny's Child said the way they both laughed about Taylor and Clark being like it was so natural and real for them. I like that couple. All Day Finesse said Nick's family was going to war in the comments too when the haters was trying to come for Alandria and Shelley. They said not on my watch, period. And that's the thing. Y'all know I'm not a swirler. It's not for me. It could be for you, but it's not for me. But I always tell if you're going to do it, make sure that man and his family ride for you. I'm okay with my sister Alandria experiencing Nicholas and that family because I know they're going to protect her. I'm okay with it. Titanium said there was a troll that will enter the chat and tell us to let NikkiNicoleStar go. Interesting, the troll is in the chat tonight. Yeah, never. And he was in her coochie. This got to be insane. This got to be insane. Seeing the man that you slept with treat a woman a way he has never treated you. Oh, that girl. Oh. Amira said the way Nick holds Alandria's hand, the way he wiped when he wiped this, he is just, she is so precious to him. The way he said he wants to take care of her, like they're my winners. He said he stopped her, he wiped the seat. He's never done that for Sierra. Oh, don't give that girl her phone. Don't give that girl her phone. Joy said Amaya and NikkiNicoleStar were the best things to come out of this season. I agree. Eats. It's a love story. Like this would be a movie that you would get your girls together and you would watch it over and over and over again. If this was a movie, it would be a classic. It would be a classic. It's very, very Love Jones. Like it's just something you will watch every year. You know what I mean? Or like that show that just comes on while you're cleaning up or you're doing your laundry and you look over and you're just like, oh, Nicolandria, let me turn up the volume and watch my favorite. And you know the words to the movie. This is it. You can't write a better love story. Destiny Child said, I believe Nick was breadcrumbing Sierra in bed with the, yeah. Listen, I don't think we're going to see it. I don't think we're going to see it. But my girl, Ola, if it ever comes down to it, 30 minutes tops. And that's just the foreplay. Oh, he going to treat her right. He going to treat her right. Pepe said, I hope Ola really pays Taylor absolute dust. That Nick has her so occupied she forgets Taylor's even in the villa. I hope so too. Kay said, the fact that Nick's family has been defending and rooting for Nicolandria is the best green flag. It absolutely is. She's going to be all right. Audie C said, I can't wait until Alondria sees how Nick was feeding for her. That's why I want movie night. I want her to see everything. He's 28. Ooh, he's homeless. He's homeless. Hey, he's just like you and me, but he stands there asking her for money. La da dee, la dee da dee, la da dee, la dee da dee. Teresa said, Nick and Alandria for the win for me. I smiled. Me too. I was like, I couldn't, guys. When I'm watching this, I'm taking notes, but I'm just watching it like, I couldn't. It's a love story. It's a love story. Oh, it's very Notebook. It's like when I was watching him tell her how amazing she makes him feel and how wonderful she is. It gave me the Notebook when the scene where like Ryan Gosling runs up to Rachel McAdams character. And he was like, why didn't you, no, she says, why didn't you write me? And he said, I wrote you every day. Y'all remember that? And then they're sitting there fighting about how they were feeding and yearning for each other, and then they run up to each other. He picks her up and they kiss. That's what it felt like. I said, this is the Notebook. The Love Jones in the Notebook. I'm watching it. Crystal said, I can't believe she actually said that she couldn't believe she didn't get chosen more. Who? Was that Amaya? Her Royal Freshness said, listen, I was on TikTok and baby, the white, oh, they love her. They have been fighting. I'm telling you. The white boys have been fighting for Alondria. They have never wavered. Never wavered. Nick and Alondria got them voting heavy. Yep. And if we know about the white men, they're going to make that whole household vote. Audie said, I hate that she calls him brother. I know she's holding back on the words she wants to say. Yeah, that's why it's so awkward. She's replacing the N-word, the brother, where the N-word would be. Mama, please change your name. My mom said, oh, baby, Clark is going to drop Taylor when she realizes that they are not going to win. My mom thinks that Clark does not like Taylor. My mom thinks that Clark is not interested in that boy. Zora said, how do I say this? Nick and Ola remind me of Baby Girl, but like the better one. Anyone catching what I'm putting down? Baby Girl. Is that, are you talking about Baby Girl in, hey, baby, I want to, not Footloose. I want to know, would you be my girl? Well, Patrick Swayze. What is my favorite movie? Patrick Swayze. Can I just say that Patrick Swayze, like, he is in all of my favorite childhood films. Dirty Dancing. Is that who you're talking about? Oh my God, he does give Dirty Dancing too. Pepe said, the way I fast forward or whatever I saw H&C on my screen, I could care less about what they say. They both scamming each other, but not us, child. Not my business. Not my business, but it will be my business when they have a fallout on social media. Oh, Hood's going to come here and tell all his business. Cindy said, what's weird to me is that she hardly ever speaks about her daughter in her conversations. Not trying to be ugly, but as a mom, that would be a huge part of my conversation. I want to give her grace because so much has been cut out of this show. She probably has, and it was just edited. I'm just going to say that because I feel like there is so much on the cutting room floor. Josie said, Huda is so easily impressed. She called Chris a real man, just like she did with Jeremiah. I think that's the kiss of death for her. Probably. Mel said Huda was trying to get Chris to close off by saying she was surprised no one kissed her in the challenge. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I know what you got to talking about. Ain't that something? He still won't close off. Six episodes left, Chris. 6 episodes left. Dia said Huda telling Chris she's surprised none of the guys wanted to kiss her in the challenge. She loses me every episode. Here's the thing with Huda. Huda does not see herself how everybody else sees her, right? Because Huda still sees the person that she was before the surgery. She's deeply insecure. And that's the thing. When you get all of that surgery at once, you need to get a therapist to help you transition into this new person. Because if you don't, you will end up like this young lady. Very deeply insecure and looking to homeless Tyler Perry to big her up and put her on a pedestal. Listen, he's going to get tired of that real fast. KG said Chris and Nick were plotting their exes, LMAO. Nick got lucky they asked Sierra. Oh, absolutely. Jasmine said, does Huda even like him enough to allow him to ride that wave? Probably. Shara said, did y'all see when Huda said she was moving to LA? Chris' eyes lit up and he put his arm around her and tried to get closer. Absolutely. He said, I got a place to stay in LA. I got a place to stay. I'm telling you, you are the preference because you deal with stuff that Black women will never do. Josie said, I highly doubt Huda has Black people. Yeah. Well, she said she doesn't have a lot of girlfriends. I would believe that. CC said, Huda thinks she stole Shelly's man, not having a clue she stole a bum. Yep. Because she couldn't call him, she couldn't say nigga. That's why. Kay said, whole situation is sad for both of them for real, but this is what they chose. Absolutely. Pepe said, first unemployment had a dream about basketball. Now Taylor's having a dream about horseback riding in a rodeo. Child, the only dream that counts is MLK's. Alexa said, I don't like Huda, but even she, a single mother, does not deserve a homosexual like Chris. He ain't got no job and no home. He's telling her that, though. And what did Huda do? Hug him and say, it's okay. It's all right. I'm like, are you hearing him? You're gonna need to house him. He's gonna pay you in penis and Black proximity, but that's it. That's it. Oh, it's gonna be messy. That fallout is going to be messy. It's gonna be tea for me, but it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be messy. Her Royal Fresh said Chris gonna be Huda's karma for how she did Jeremiah. Child. Khalil said Huda can have Chris's baby and raise future NBA players. Listen, that's what's happening now. So Shoni said Huda's so happy with Chris, thinking she's beat out Shelly for a man that she can't see red flags. Yep. Kate said, I think Huda just got so caught up in the attention and the ego boost of taking a tall, attractive Black man from a popular Black girl, Shelly. Yep. Shoni said, not gonna lie, that little picnic Taylor playing for Clark was cute. Yeah, I don't mind him with Clark. I just did not like how he did Alandria. Betty said, we got to vote for Shalace too. They're in the bottom a lot in ranking games as couples and individuals. Definitely vote NikkiNicoleStar, but they and Bramaya will be safe. Huda got her hood boogers. Pepe gets the white vote. Ciao. Yeah, but I agree with you. We do have to vote for them. I Am Redeemed said, I think NikkiNicoleStar will win. He will try to keep the money to share with Sierra. Can he be trusted? I don't think that. I don't think he'll keep the money. He will absolutely share. They both will. All Day Finesse said, Clark is treating Taylor the way Taylor treated Alandria. The boys are getting their karma, child. Crystal said, I don't want to assume the votes will be okay. Last time that happened, Leah got second while Janae got third. True. Alexis said it's the last week. The boys will be on their best behavior. Of course. Art World said, yes, I want Maya to slow down. She deserves more. Absolutely agree. Always Priceless said, clock it, clock it. We can go another route. Very cliche. What was that about? We got to call it what it is. Carrie said, I love watching Alondria and she deserves the money. She sure does. This is a love story. This is a love story. I really thought that Amaya was getting the Amber from Love Island UK season 5 edit, but it's Alandria. It is Alandria. Fid said, OMG, Alandria had a great episode and she's funny. She had great one-liners. Yep. They are setting her up for the win. Always Prices said, Ola is so much more interesting now that she is not with Taylor. Yes, she is. And we are going to be drooling because of how she's going to be with Nick. I Am Bevan says, Ola grew up without a father, right? I'm not sure. I am not sure. Her Royal Freshness said, yes, this is the Alondria I want to see. I want her happy. My sis deserves. Same. Mel said, Ola laughed so much this episode, and it's so nice to see. She was just a different person. So happy, so fun, so free. And like living in her, flyness. I loved it. Like finally realizing who she is and being treated the way she needs to be treated and desires to be treated by a man. And this just goes to show you that sometimes the man that you are looking for is probably in a different suit. Because she wanted that black Southern cowboy and she got this white surfer who is treating her the way she said she wanted to be treated, but she couldn't see it because it didn't look like what she wanted. And I'm just like, girl, it's right here. Elise said, it took me forever to make it down here. I'm so happy that this has finally happened. Nicolandria, forever. We got our season 7 winners. Mariah said, Nick calls her queen before, and then cowboy costume, the kiss, and then them talking and being so free with each other. Game over. Yep. The pink. Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. What just happened? Lord, it refreshed, and I didn't even do anything. We're holding space. We're holding space. The pink something. I can't find it. You were about to click on your comment. I'm sorry. Kingdom Lex said Taylor ain't Judas because at least Judas knew. Okay. Me too. Me too. Cece said Alandria found what she was looking for. He just, that happens. That happens, child. Clear said Nicolandria Hobb, the reason I got into this show. Yep. Ariana said, well, slap ice cream cone on my head and curl me up. Lord, oh God, the kids are going to be swirling this summer. B. Nichols said production really trying to get Pepe and I. Yeah, we like. There's no. I mean, we saw them, but we didn't like really see them this episode. The Whitney edit said, as a New Yorker suffering in Texas, I get it. Brian is Amaya Speed. Yep. Zora said, I'm okay with Brian and Amaya not working. I love that he defended her before he knew that she was so popular with America's Eyes. He had nothing to gain. Yep, I agree. I agree. Jess G said, if production didn't interfere so much, this would be such a good plot. I get that, but I feel like they had to because of how the players were playing this game. Whitney said, wait, fill me in. What's the witchcraft talk? Does Sierra practice? Well, some people were saying that, Sierra was doing some spell work with her vagina. Betty said, Nick is letting Alandria finally arrive mentally where he has been for days, weeks, since the very beginning. I'm glad she finally is open and is feeling guilt-free about exploring their connection. But he had to get to a point as well. Like, he liked her from jump, but there were some things about him that were very childish, and she couldn't rock with it. That's why I'm telling you, the peeing on the seat thing and him saying, I'm not that guy anymore. I'm a different man. Like, that had to happen. They left that stuff in for a reason. They were writing this love story right before our eyes. Very Pride and Prejudice, Nicole. Very Pride and Prejudice. Always Prices said, Nick treats Ola how my man treats me. He's always kissing my hand, holding my hand, doting on me. I think they're gonna make it. That's how it's supposed to be. You are supposed to be so precious to him, and he just he love that girl. Kingdom Lex says, so movies night is dead, right? I wonder what the reasoning was, because last week would have been even more explosive with it. At this point, they probably don't want to damage any of the couples standing. Probably. Especially because the fan base has been so toxic. Her Royal Freshness said, I'm going to get a shirt made that says, if you don't treat me like Nick, I don't want him. Ciao. Dreadful Ruby said, I'm starting to think Nick always liked her, but felt intimidated by her. Yep. And because she didn't show much interest, he stuck with Sierra. Even after the kiss, it was clear O was occupied by Taylor. I think that's exactly what happened. And I honestly think for you to have a successful relationship, the man has to be intimidated by you. Like he has to, like it has to be there, because he has to like see you as like so high up, so precious, that he's like Nick, intimidated to even talk to you, nervous around you. Like that's the only way it's going to work. And I think we got something good. He was so happy. He was so giddy. He was Nick again. And I think that's why his mom likes Alandria for him, because she sees her son. She probably didn't see her son with Sierra. She'll never say it. But she probably was just like, that is not my son. But with Alandria, she sees a better version of her son. Abby Stolly, hey, said, Nikki, Coco Guff just posted a watch party of Nicolandria recoupling. They brought the watch parties back. Yes. Denise said, listen, someone had the Waking Sierra Up mock scene on TikTok. Hilarious. Tap, tap. Hi, Sierra. I saw that. Yes, it's time to go. Yes, your bag is by the door. Ciao. Yeah, Love Island is back on track. They are back on track. Yes. It felt like how Love Island is supposed to feel, Spectre's View. Zora said, that's my favorite flavor. It was originally... Oh, what flavor? Oh, this one? There's a Barbie one? Oh my God. I felt the sugar. There's a Barbie one? Let me know. Oh, I got a new super chat. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I got a couple. Thank you so much. Got that one. All right. Crystal, thank you so much for the super chat. Crystal said, Adriana even wrote in a comment that, oh, I got that one. Tosh C, thank you for the super chat. Richard, hey, Richard. Richard said, thank you, Richard, for the super chat. Richard said, does Huda get kicked off next for mouthing the N-word and rap lyrics in the video? Just curious where the line is drawn. Richard, I'm not sure, because people are arguing that she didn't say it. I saw the video. She absolutely did say it, but I think with them having so little episodes, I'm not sure. I am not sure. I will be shocked, because I just don't think, like, the Asian community stood on business, like the Black community stood on business with Yulissa. Not so much with Austin, because that's a big force. Like, it's really hard to take down a white guy for racism. It's not easy. Look at our president, right? So you gotta really pick your battles. And I don't see enough Black people unified in the fact that what she did was wrong. So I'm not sure. I am not sure. Tosh, thank you for the super chat. Tosh said, I feel icky hearing Huda call Jeremiah and Chris brother, because you know what it's a substitution for. That's why. You know. She is trying to poorly speak Ebonics, which is basically African-American vernacular. And if you're a Black person, you know where words go in Ebonics, and you know how they are layered, you know, tone. And she is mimicking the layering toning of emplacement of Ebonics. So when she says brother, we hear something else, because we know what she wants to say, because she is poorly speaking our language. KD said, I also feel like after Sierra stood behind Taylor, she realized that maybe the friendship wouldn't be outside the villa, so she felt comfortable exploring. Probably, because remember, we got last episode with her saying, I feel like I don't know how to feel about my girl standing behind a dude that did me dirty. So she's probably like, so Alandra's probably just like, I'm protecting her, not pursuing a guy I really like, but she's not looking out for me, so she's not here. F her. Janelle said, bring back summer reading programs because they doing all this background work when they need to be reading. Ciao. Speak. Hey, Sophie. Sophie said, well, after hearing what Leah and Miguel said about production, it will be interesting to hear what the cast says later. Oh, absolutely. Maya Dress said, Hood has to go, period. Her hatred and bigotry cannot be continued or overlooked. It needs to be addressed at that reunion, and that show better protect Jeremiah because what he went through was not fair. It was not fair. That should not have been his story in the villa. Shoni said, me too, Nikki. I immediately thought of Nicolandria when they said she left the villa, like right away. I felt so bad. El Rico said, Sierra gave up the cat on TV for nothing. Ah, damn. Yikes. Crystal said, yep, Jeremiah thought people were going to hate him. Absolutely. Because to be treated like that by Huda and have the cast protect her, he's probably thinking he's the villain. So coming out and being loved was probably shocking for him. B. Nickel said, Sierra about to walk into the gates of hell when she, oh God, I hope somebody is with her when she opens that phone. Claire says, Sierra has to be the biggest loser on this season. Poor thing. Poor thing. Well, listen, I don't want to, I'm not going to, I'm trying to, I feel like I'm saying I feel bad because she doesn't know anything. And so she's going to open that phone and see it all. But I'm not saying poor thing because what she did wasn't right. She was called out about it, allegedly, and she gave a very smug response. Consequences of your actions. Dia said, did you see the Sun article of Huda? Apparently production had a mental health specialist come in after her outburst. She was supposed to leave. I believe that. And the reason why I believe that is because all of the people who are eliminated who come out of the villa, they talk about that we did not see the worst of everything with Huda. All Glenn said, Pepe, Hannah, Iris, and Nick all switch up fast. That's Love Island. But I knew that these guys weren't really friends. I knew that they were, I knew that we were not going to get the closeness of season 6. Because season 6, they really came in for some love. They were playing the game, but they were really about connections. This cast was about winning and about brand deals. So the show had to shake them up and like really force them to form connections. So I'm not shocked. I think that reunion is going to be a bloodbath. Tosh, thank you for another super chat. Tosh said the fact that cast members didn't feel safe or comfortable with Huda is sad, and she should have been removed long ago. Yeah, I think her removal should not have been left up to the Islanders. I don't think that's fair. The show should have done it. The show should have done it. Mariah said Nick towards Alondria, called her a queen, the kiss, the heart rate, dressed as a cowboy. They were writing a love story for us. Open and free with her. Looks like he wants to kiss her all the time and will respect her boundaries. Dreadful said, I can get on board with NikkiNicoleStar, but real life, she is so far out of his league, and he knows that. That's why he acts the way he acts around her. That's how every man should be. Every man should know that any woman is out of his league. You gotta treat her like the prize that she is. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. Let me make you nervous. The man I make nervous, I know that's the one. Thalen said, I was never a fan of Sierra, and I'm happy to see her leaving the villa. However, I hope she is able to see someone about everything pulling up at once. Yeah, that's my thing. Consequences of your actions. This is a very young person who did a very dumb thing and has a lot of people coming after her. Some, rightfully so. Others found an opportunity to hate on a person of color and a woman. And this is somebody in their 20s. Very young, very impressionable. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Sydney said maybe they do a date similar to Serena Cordell date at the end of the show with the movie of their journey. That would be cute and wholesome. Maybe that's what we're going to get. I Am Bevan said Taylor's like the third wheel to Ace and Nick also. Absolutely. Ace so happy that Nick is coupling up with his girl's best friend. Yep. They are all going to be friends outside of this. Betty said we need a movie night to hold Huda accountable and expose Taylor and Ace for playing Galandria. Maybe they'll show blindfold NikkiNicoleStar first final date montage so we can get It Was Always You. Ah! says that to her in the end. Alondria, it was always you. Jasmine said, I think even if the Black community makes a big deal, production won't kick Huda out. We only have a week left. I think the only reason Sierra was removed was to make space for Nicolandria. Absolutely. They could benefit from her removal. How would they benefit from Huda's removal? It'll be, I don't know. I don't know how they'll do it. If they do, I have no idea. I really was gagged and shocked the way they made a lot of things work this season. Sydney said maybe they'll do a movie night date like they did with Serena Cordell with the movie and Nick and Alondria's journey. That'll be cute and wholesome. I think so. B. Nickel said, the only thing I want movie night to show is how awful Huda is to everybody, especially the Bombshell girls. But we all know production won't do that because of this fake redemption, which is so sad because she was absolutely awful to everybody in there. And everybody is saying it when they come out the villa. Rico said, Nick running game on Ola. Just can't trust Nick. If Ola wins, don't share with him, please. Y'all really think that he's scamming? I hope not. I hope not. Janelle said, even though I'm not a part of the Nicolandria hive, I feel like Nick's mom will be a fun mother-in-law. They're cute. We're going to see. Then said, Nick's mom clocked it. She knows her child to a T. Oh, absolutely. Cece said, they on TikTok saying Huda and Chris are in the final three. Her and that racist fandom are in for a rude awakening. Child, that Nicolandria is happening. Them kids don't stand a chance. Kaylee said, to be honest, they may send two couples home so that there's a final four for the week. That's a huge possibility. Crystal said, I'm starting to believe that's really why Sierra voted for Taylor. She wasn't over that kiss, like she said, probably. Bree Talks TV said, is this a scheme Todd set up to come back to us with the BS? Why do I feel like the producers dug up Sierra's pay? I didn't want to say it. I was like, did they find something in her background check and release it to get her out to make way for Nicolandria? It's too perfect. It really is. It really is. Alicia said, for me, this is my Mexican novella love story. Yes, it is. I Am Also Production said, will the parents still be coming? I think so, this week. For that to happen every season, I find it weird because there are no official couples. I usually don't watch the last week because it bores me. But I think the parents are coming because I do believe on After Sun that Ariana said they're coming. Tyler said, if I believe Brian was serious about Amaya, I vote for them. But Brian is Amaya solely for popularity. So Nicolandria for the win. I think that Brian, I don't know if he's into Amaya, but I like the fact that he protected her. Nicolandria and Shalace for me. Oh, I haven't seen that movie. Is it good? Miss Rosuga said, all the white guys married to black women telling Nick you about to F around and find out you could be happy for the rest of your life. Oh, I love it. Niquest said, when Nick said he would make Ola the meanest, oh, I can't wait to see him make her breakfast. Oh, Holly said, Chris will close off once she offers up that guest bedroom. Child, somebody said he gonna be in her house eating her kids' Scooby snacks. Pepe said, who is delusional about what and who she is? Timu Kim K writing on the inside and outside. Oh, all right, Pepe. The Bonda said, I watched the edit of Nick having Alondria foot. Child, did you see the edit where it was the bark like a dog edit? I was like, bark like you want it. You better get on your knees and bark like you. I was like, Child, they are going to be gagged when they see how the world was rooting for them. Jasmine says, honestly, he said he attracts emotionally unstable women, but I think he seeks them out. Great observation. What type of woman would take care of a homosexual? An emotionally unstable woman. Carrie said, Chris called Adriana fake, but ready to sit behind Huda for doing the same thing, but worse because she never owned up to the card. Yep. We gotta have a movie night. Lily said, it feels like Nick is going to make Ola be taken care of and loved on, something she doesn't seem to get a lot from men. Yes, she said that she gets lusted after. She wants to be adored, and she is looking for that. And she got it. She got it. Always. Like, I hope women are watching this and being like, okay, this is the standard. Like, it has to be like that. And every time he takes her hand, he's kissing it. He makes her feel precious. rare. That's how it's supposed to be. This might not be her forever, but it's her Marlon Brando. Every Black woman gets 3 Marlon Brandos in their life. I think this is her second one. I think this is her second Marlon Brando. Kaylee said, your man. Oh, we got that one. AI said, Brian and Amaya feel like siblings. I don't know why. I think it's because it's Amaya. Amaya is very junior high. She gives we need a bit more, and it's not a bad thing, but she's just very young love. Kaylee said, this show needs better background checks or social media checks because it's crazy how many incidents have come from the season. True. Betty said, Nick has been giving us Bridgerton levels of yearning. Season 2, Kate and Anthony. Can't wait to see him doting on Alandria. Many romance tropes, friends to lovers, forced proximity, forbidden love. It's everything. It's everything in one. We got it. She's ready. She's ready to do it. She said she's ready. I think we're going to get it. Tosh C said, go where you're admired, not where you're tolerated. Amen. I got another super chat. Do I have 2? I don't know if I got this one, Tashi, but let me get it again. Thank you for the super chat, Tashi. Tashi said the fact cast members didn't feel safe or comfortable with Huda is sad, and she should have been removed long ago. I absolutely agree. Hey, Lizzie. Lizzie, are you paying me in pounds? I know that's right. Thank you, Lizzie. Lizzie said, I'm ecstatic that Nick and Alandria are finally reunited. It feels like Cameron and Lauren from Love. It does. It does. Alandria got her Cameron. She got her Cameron. Very unhinged, but an amazing lover. Men and women said that he was nuttier than a fruitcake, but my God, today, did he turn them every which way but loose? Nick is her Marlon. He's not her forever. He's her Marlon. He is her Marlon. Oh, this is the thing. Guys, remember when we talked about this? I said the show has to make this happen. An executive talked to them producers and said, Nick Alandria has to happen. So it's not too far-fetched if they are the ones who found that mess on Sierra. They probably found that mess in a background check and released it. It is not too far-fetched. That production put that out about her. I'm telling you, the executive saw money in this couple and told that show they got to make it happen. If you want another season, you better make that couple happen. And here we are. They are a very lucrative couple. Denise said, yes, I want to need Shonda Rhimes to come up with a love story with Alandria being a child. Betty said, Ola said, noted to Nick peeping a lot of stuff about her. She said in her speech that he values her as a person. It's so important that he's not objectifying and lusting after her. He affirms her. Yep, and this is how it should be. This is how it should be. Jennifer said, I know Ariana was giddy as hell when she walked in and saw them at the dock. She was so happy when Alandria chose him. Because, listen, Ariana was messy for speaking. I love her. I still feel like she was extremely wrong for giving her opinion about the cast. I hope next season she stops doing that because she has to realize she's not speaking as an individual. She is speaking as the show. So whatever opinion you have, good or bad, it could force popularity or negativity to these contestants. And that does not look good. And it looks like cheating. And it looks like you're using your influence poorly. So even if she has anything good to say, I don't think that she should share it. She has to remain neutral. Because I also do not understand how her being the host and sharing her opinions about the cast the way she does, how is that not interfering or illegal? Like something is very weird about that. And I'm just like, I don't know how this is legal for you to be sharing your opinions to voters who are voting for these people. It just seems like interference. And it's too murky, and you as the host should never make the waters murky. Having said that, you could tell that she was rooting for Nick and Alandria because she was so happy, chuckling, giggly when Alandria chose Nick. She was like, ah. Like, I'm like, girl, we're not supposed to know that you wanted this to happen. Lord. Hey sis. Said it made me laugh when O said we didn't realize it. No, girl, you didn't realize it. LMAO, it was giving Zendaya in time. Oh, it was. Yes, and he always loved her. He just, Tom Holland just hung around because he knew at some point she would say it was always him. Ah! We got our love story. We got our love story. Me either. That when the family meets is going to be very nice because the family has to watch this entire thing. Child Peyton said, yes, let's see if I can. Who? Takara said, Shelly would get a lot of brand deals as well. I want money for all of them. Shelly is going to get a lot of brand deals. Alondria is going to get a lot of brand deals. I think her brand deals are going to be mainly makeup and clothing because the body is crazy, especially the swimsuits. The body is crazy. Joy said, NikkiNicoleStar for the win. Faith brought them back together again. Amen. Taj said, Ariana shouldn't have condoned Huda's raunchy acts during a heart rate challenge and calling people jealous of the host. She should have no opinion about the cast, in my opinion. Miss Brown Sugar said, why did I just see Coco's golf TikTok going up? Yup. She said, this is my Super Bowl. Yup. Margaret said, Nick is saying in his head, reunited and it feels so good. Sure is. I Am Bevan said, I don't know. At the end of the day, the show was meant to be entertaining, and Ariana reacting that way was super entertaining. Even if it was, it's just she has to remain neutral as the host because she speaks for the show. She's not an individual. So when she speaks, even though I don't think that's her intention, it's like the show is giving their opinion about cast members, and they cannot. So it's murky, and she shouldn't be able to do it. Joy said, did you see the way Nick adores Alondria? Did you see the way he clean? Yep. He calls her his queen. Lily said, I think Meg is coming for Ola when she gets out. I can see her in videos just looking regal. She's absolutely going to put her in her swimwear. I think I don't know if she's going to do Huda. We'll see. Kaylee said the sports teams are about to have NikkiNicoleStar at all the games. Oh, they are going to be the biggest celebrities that come out of this season. They are going to be the biggest celebrities. I hope they do not feel pressure to stay together if it doesn't work outside the villa. I hope they remain friends and just get the bag together because it may or may not work because they're both going to have people on the outside who want a piece of them as well, especially Alondria. Nate said Savage Fenty should probably already have a deal. Oh, yes. She has to have that. Tosh said, I want Love Island to play the entire Heart Rate Challenge because the whole villa was shook what went down between Huda and Ace. I think that should be the unseen bits. Cece said, even with the hate trade, I knew my black Barbies were safe and set for life, period. I said in my reviews, I'm not worried. I hate the way that this is what's happening to them, but I'm not worried about them at all. They will be fine. Jennifer said, even though I found her side comments about TJ funny during that kissing challenge, I was like, girl, save these comments for your watch party. Kirby said, do you remember the Sarah Hyland and Keenan drama? I do not know. Refresh my memory. Busy said, production kid added out Ariana's reaction. They are choosing not to. Yeah. You're right. When you're right, you're right. Kaylee said they better do what season 6 cast has done and get this money. I think they will, especially Nick and Nicolelandria, especially if they sign with the same company, with the same agency. Just Amina said, heavy on not pressuring them to stay together. Yes. Yes. I do not know. Does Nick live in the country? I saw his TikToks. He be all over. I don't think they're going to work outside the villa. I think they're going to be really great friends who, dry humped once. Miss Brown Sugar said, may be different, but outcomes were already determined before we saw the show. But Jess Prost and TJ Lavin have all the opinions all the time. Yet, listen, that's a different show with a more mature fan base. This show has gained a very young fan base, and it has become very toxic. That's why I said that. It's just become very toxic. And for now, keep it neutral until the fan base grows up. Kaylee said they're going to have to pick up the litter for sure out of the villa, but we never know. They may. I'm just hoping they don't feel pressure. Amma said, I knew looked like, he kissed and his leg went up. Did you see when he was talking to her? He was swinging his feet and kicking his feet up. He's so excited to be in her presence. that the energy, he's trying to like calm the energy of when he's talking to her, and he can't control it. So the time he's talking to her, he's playing with his hands and he's kicking his feet because his body is just so excited, like he's excited, and he's trying to control the energy. This is how it should be. Oh, Florida and Alabama, that's not too far. And that's both Southern. And they're both Southern, so it works. Metamorphosis said, Nikki, how would you rank this season amongst all the other seasons of Love Island that you've watched? I would rank this season right under 6. And the reason why I would do that is because it started off very strong. I feel bad for the interference from the fan base and the unfortunate findings of the cast. But I think if they didn't have those things, I think it would have been a very strong season. And I think they're doing their best to get it back. So I will rate it just under 6. I really am hoping that for her. She would be a great model for her. I'm really hoping that for her. It happens. It happens. Dry humped on a group trip before, made out on the beach and then got back and was just like, nah, we're better off as friends. That can happen. Opulent said, I hope Ola has good people around her. Sierra's friends fully open her PR on their own pages and were just overly messy. I hate that for her. Ola's great. Her friends, they were writing for her in the comments, cussing out everybody. They said, not this one, and I love that for her. Let me get a couple more, then I'm going to let y'all go. Tosh said, this show has become a giant commercial, and they need to be careful to not become like every other Zeus network show filled with vulgar actions and violent language. I think Peacock will be just fine. I don't think they're going to let it get too crazy. Justin Mina said, Nick told Taylor Alondria needed validation, and today he said he felt validated by her. Oh, it's all coming together. It sure is. Peyton said, ugh, and the way she was just laughing and smiling with him, just pure joy. Magnesh said, facts, everyone saying this is the worst season of Love Island is crazy. Even though couples aren't as strong, only season 6 is better than 7. I agree. Kaylee said, from there they exchanged a few words, and then Keenan and his partner, KK, later left after Keenan was voted off. Oh, I didn't know about that, child. Wait a minute. That name sounds familiar. Once somebody from Love Island wanted me to interview them, like the guy reached out and then his agency reached out, and I was like, I don't know who this is. He was like real aggressive about me doing an interview with him and setting the record straight. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't watch your season, and I'm not going to watch 50 episodes to catch up and see what your side of the story is, because I already felt like he was in the wrong. I'm going to check my emails to see if that was him. Jasmine said, I believe Amaya has modeled for Danessa Myrick, actually. I think she would. Danessa loves dark skin, brown skin with light eyes. She loves doing models like that. Califia said, I just saw apparently the Nick's mom and sister have been, from the beginning. The mom was the first one to see it. Her daughter was asking her, who does she think is a good partner for Nick? And the mom said, Alondria, because she brings out the man in him. When the mom see it, it's a wrap. Justin Mina said, Kaylee talking about the season 5 debacle. Keenan and KK were so hard to watch. I've never felt that about a Love Island couple before. Oh, I don't remember Keenan and KK. And I felt like I watched season 5. Or was it 4? It was 4 because I watched season 5. Was it season 5? No, was that 3? Which season was Cachet and Cinco? Miss Brown Sugar said, on another note, do y'all know or understand what's going down between Kim Fields and Gabrielle Union? All I gathered is Gabby said something hurtful about Kim's career, and I don't play about my Tootie. I have no idea. I hope they fix it because I love them both. I Am Bevan said, there's a funny video of Nick's parents reacting to old. Oh, I can't. I gotta watch it. Shay said, I'm wishing so many sponsorships except for Shelly and Alandria. It's just gorgeous. Me too. Captain for Creativity said, Nick Alandria Nation, congratulations. The way those two cackled up and cut up about Taylor getting voted last was iconic because I have never seen either of them be so comfortable and happy. Yeah, me too. Okay, season 3. I didn't watch 5. I watched 3. Kaylee said, wait, click on it. Kaylee said, girl, that couple was wild. That's where we get the term soul ties is crazy. Oh, I might have to watch that. I might have to watch that. I might have to watch that. Miss Brown Sugar said KK originated Soul Ties is crazy. Season 5, and yes, Cachet is season 3. Justine is season 2. Oh, child. Maybe I'll binge it after I've healed from this season. No, you know what? I'm going to binge it after UK because when I'm done with this, I'm going to hop into UK and review a couple of episodes of that because everybody's saying it's getting good now. Kaylee said, I'm an OG, so season 3 tops all the seasons because that's what I was locked in on Love Island. Same. The way Lacanandria stands, that was me for Cachet and Cinco. Ciao! They had me every episode. Every episode, I was locked in. Thank you all for locking in with me. Guys, it finally happened. It finally happened, and I am so happy. NikkiNicoleStar, hi. We're up. Shalace, we're up. Dominicana, we are up. Thank you all for spending your night with me, your Sunday night with me. I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time, and hopefully this episode, Monday's episode, will be just as fun and as joyous as this one. We needed this. We needed this. Busy said, we did it, Joe. We did it. We did it. We did it. Oh, Lord, we did it. It finally happened. Lord, now Love Island is back. Whew, I was nervous. America had the crown for a second and it was getting shaky. The British were coming, but we took it back. And I am happy that we finally got there. So I feel like the last few episodes of this season is going to be good. I think it's going to be fun and happy and joyous, and the Love Island that we who have been here for a while know and love. And I got excited for Love Island games again. I really, really did. So the producers, you ate that up. Also, hypothetically, if I hypothetically could interview a producer from Love Island this season, what questions would you want for me to ask them? Just think about it. I'm going to put up a post right after this. And in that post, I want you to write down questions that you would like me to ask a Love Island producer if hypothetically I got the opportunity to interview one of them. Let your girl know in the post that I put up after this. You guys have a good night or good morning or a great afternoon. Wherever you are, I love you and I will see you tomorrow. Night.